Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about something that is in my school's newspaper. It's called The Current. And no, I do not want to talk about the DACA students prepare for an uncertain future. No. Worse. Something that I didn't know for the past years of going to ALC. For those of you who know, I've been going to ARC for 3 semesters now. So you would think I would know what issues were going on. Well, I apparently don't. So I saw this. It says, oh, not that one. Where is it? Not that one. This one. Sorry about that. ARC needs to be more accessible for disabled students. Now, like I just said, I did not know that this was an issue. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. I had to send an email to a teacher. So, like I said, I read this, which says ALC needs to be more accessible with this guy who's in a wheelchair, whose guess name is Nathan. And I guess I'll read it to you guys. So here's the issue that I did not know about. I'm going to read you exactly what he wrote. And like I said, before I start reading this, my Nana uses a wheelchair or her scooter, which is mobilized, to get around. So I feel this guy's pain, but as an able-bodied person, I normally help my Nana. So I didn't know that, like I said, this was an issue until now. But it says American River College needs to be more accessible to expand access for disabled students. And when I first read that, I was all like, what is he talking about? The Americans with Disabilities Act requires public institutions to be accessible to the disabled, but the law is often inaccurate. Okay, stop right there. Get his point. But with the exception of what else he talks about, AOC is probably more accessible, other than the other things that he's going to talk about, than probably any other campus. More than anywhere else you're most likely going to go. So, despite ADA modifications, getting around campus independently remains challenging for many wheelchair users. So right there, he mentions that it's something to do with the wheelchair. As a lifelong wheelchair user, I have dealt with the access that ranged from elaborate to the improvised. The problem arises because opening a door and navigating a wheelchair simultaneously is next to impossible. As a As a result, disabled students are often unable to get to some classrooms and offices without the assistance of an able-bodied person. Yeah. Okay, that is true, because a lot of the offices are in Davies Hall, which you can get to Davies Hall, which is on the third, and you can get to the classrooms and stuff that are on the second and third floor, because there are there are elevators like up there, but there are some offices on the fourth floor that you can only get to by stairs. So that I can see his problem. But he goes on and states, one former statistics teacher, whom is now deceased, told me of his student who waited more than an hour in the rain because they were unable to get into the building. I've heard of other similar stories and experiences them firsthand. The answer to the problem is supposed to be the use of an automatic door openers, but poor design decision makes them inaccessible for many wheelchair users. And that is the problem, because then he goes on to say the real problem with the automatic door almost always comes down to operating the switch or push play. Which is true. There's only a few doors on campus that are automatic, that you don't need to push the push plate to go through. You could be able-bodied, walk right up and walk on through because it's automatic door. So I get his point. But for the push plate, he goes on and explains why it's a problem for him. Former ARC student Vince Gross said about campus accessibility, I remember there being a lot of accessible buttons around doors, but a lot of them were on. So whenever I went to go use a button, it was kind of pointless. It is recommended that switch plates be placed between 34 and 48 inches off the ground. ALC uses the maximum height recommendations throughout the campus, but myself and other disabled persons have difficulty using their arms. This is simply too high. And it says, in black, student Nathan Bear has limited use of arms, and the placement of the trash bin makes it impossible for him to position his mobilized wheelchair properly to hit the button to operate the door. So if you look, here's the trash can. There's the button that he's supposed to push. Basically, you have to get someone to move it. And I'll explain the situation that happened today, too. There is a solution to this problem. Other institutions use two switches, one placed at the recommended height and another between 14 and 24 inches, which allows them to be operated with a foot pedal. The only problem with the foot pedal is, what about if you're paralyzed and you're in the wheelchair because you're paralyzed and you can't use your feet? So I feel like there needs to be one that's like mounted on the floor and you can roll or step on it, and it will thus open the door. There are also switch panels that are long enough to be accessible by both hand and foot, but neither solution is used at AOC. In addition to the automatic doors themselves, can be difficult to find. In the newly constructed student center, for example, there are only two fully accessible doors that allow for entrance and exits. Both of them were placed directly off the side of the building, off the main path. Both doors use low-profile switches that exchange the traditional blue accessible symbol for a gray one. That is the problem, is because 90% of the walls at AOC, which, let me just finish this. The low-impact switches suit the complementary design of the building very well, but finding a flat 4x4 inch square panel against a gray facing on a building the size of the student center will present a challenge for anyone. As AOC upgrades its infrastructure and prepares for the future, it is important that the campus maintains the highest standards of equal access. College is hard enough without worrying if you will be able to enter the building your classes are in, and disabled students deserve better than to wait around stranded to be rescued by their able-bodied peers. And yes, that is an issue, because a lot of the doors to the classroom are automatic, so you have to have an able-bodied person to open it. They don't even have a push button. It would just be like having a wheelchair person open up this door. There's not a push button you can open. Yeah, the doorknob's probably low enough, as I'm sitting now, probably that high, that they could easily turn it and probably get out. But if you and that's not the only issue that disabled students that disabled people face. Yes, they should paint those push buttons a different color so you can find them a lot easier. The student center should have more than, out of the 8+ doors to enter that building, there should be more than 2 that are accessible. I mean, they're all accessible, you can get into them, but there should be the push palette on all the doors in that building. There should be push pallets by every door, outside of every door, to open the door. And the biggest thing is, there's normally a silver bar in the middle, and there's 2 doors about the side, and that would be like this, but it would be silver, and there would be another door. They need to remove this, have the push button be pushed like right here, right here, and it be painted blue, or have there be one on the floor where they can just roll up to it and the door open. Out once. But the other issue that they face is, let's say they're sitting in their wheelchair. They drop something on the floor. They're sitting in their wheelchair. And they can't reach it, so they have to wait for an able-bodied person to grab whatever it is that they dropped. Today, I was helping this girl, Christina. She was showing me a Nana, which I need to put this. Whoa, 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 whoa. She was showing me a Nana. This, gave us this one, which is sword. It's a club for disabled students on campus.